Well, howdy diddly dandy there, chums. 'Tis I, Captain of the Steves, and today, chums, for you guys, in the viewerverse, I've got some speculation around those sort of portal sort of graphics put up on Twitter by the Procedural Traveller, found inside of the game files in patch 3.99 over on Steam. So execute Monday, pow! So here are those icons in question. Now you can see here you've got building a portal, crafting a portal, portal materials, and portal stories. Okay, yes we do. So I took this over to my community tab, put it up there, and put out a thread for people to put up their comments on what they think it is. But I led the charge with what I think it might be. So my theories range from maybe being able to build it at our own bases, maybe even on board of our freighters now, constructing our own sort of portal so you don't have to go hunting for one in the wild. But yes, because we've got the power in icon, which I find is kind of interesting. So we're going to have to find our own power source for the portal. I mean, at the moment you have to put in cadmium and cobalt and all sorts of other resources, but is that powering it? I'm not 100% sure. Or is that the materials for it? Again, it isn't really, is it? So it does make you wonder whether we might be actually building these things, since it says building a portal. That kind of says we are going to be building a portal, to my sort of reckoning anyway, peeps. 1616 features quite heavily inside of the lore, and I'm wondering whether the 16 glyphs were supposed to be a big part of that lore. So I was thinking maybe backstories behind each of the different glyphs, and there's some people inside of these comments that have echoed that sort of sentiment. So it's interesting to see that. So I was also thinking we've got all these Nexus NPCs up inside of the Nexus just standing around doing very little. But it seems to be that they've got a certain number in count. Yes, well, there's about 13 of them. But they could chuck in a few more, couldn't they? Make it a full frickin' 16, why the fudge not? I suppose it could be if you count Nada and Polo, and you're getting close then, aren't you? We've got Artemis in that dream capsule at the back, so who knows? But yeah, anyway, it could be that you tie each of those glyphs to each of the different NPCs inside of the Nexus as well, to give them some sort of backstory and flesh them out a bit. Then I was thinking, well, we've got, what, eight or so freaking expeditions as well. Wouldn't it be cool if you tied those to the NPCs and tied that into the backstory, or maybe even had a 16 galaxy count to match the actual glyphs, but we get to that in a moment. So when it comes to portal materials and powering the dang things, there was this tweet by Sean ages and ages ago, freaking ages ago, back in 2021. Yeah, about uranium. Well, you can't touch this, no man's sky logic. And it's like this. So maybe that might be it. Maybe we might be powering these things with freaking uranium. Who knows? But yeah, anyhow, let's hit on up the portal, because there's already a load of lore inside of the portal. When you interact with it, most people just want to get to where they're going, so they're like, yeah, whatever. But if you read this lore is kind of dark and kind of sinister. Now, you can just keep exiting out and going back in again. You are going to get some repeats, but it does try to give you some sort of narrative and lore going through. So there's a singular interaction and a secondary interaction and all sorts of other things. So they do sort of follow in sequence. So give it a little go. Next time you're at a portal, go in and out and keep reading the lore, and hopefully you're going to build up some sort of synopsis like I am here, and some sort of consensus to say, actually, no, this is pretty dark. There could be more to the portals than meets the eye, and it's been in our frickin' eye line this whole time. So does that mean portals are going to change? I really don't know. It's the building part that gets me. We're going to build our own freaking portals. What the... Inside the lore, it does say that the only people that can see the actual portals or the monoliths are travellers, are the anomalies. Us guys, the guys with the freaking talamons on our shoulders. And they teach us the Atlas lore at monoliths, but they also point us towards these portals to use them. Yet it does feel like some of this lore is suggesting that the Atlas is sort of telling us to get away from the dang things. Don't use these portals. And where do we get the glyphs, people in the viewerverse? We get the glyphs from off of dead travellers. Yes, they're holographic projections, and they even come with freaking warnings and heeds to say, no, don't, they killed me. But there you go, have my glyph, yeah, sod it. Which is a bit freaking weird, isn't it, when you think about it? And Artemis went through a portal, got stuck, and what happened to them? We had to dream arc them into the freaking Nexus. That's what we did with them. So yeah, portals are some sort of dangerous place. And the first time you activate a portal, what happens? You go through and it comes up, 16, 15, 14, and you've only got a little bit of time to run around and grab some stuff and have a quick look, and it's a crazy planet usually, an exotic sort of redacted type one, and then you pull back again, aren't you? Yeah. So I was talking about my 16 galaxies idea. So you see this one, just for instance, this one is the tree glyph. The tree glyph, as most people call it, or the Y shape or a flux capacitor, if you're Jason. Love you, Jason. Go, head on over to old tree face here, and maybe hitting up tree face, he'll give you his backstory and say, well, this is how I came to be. Or perhaps Nolo and Podo ask you to go and rescue Helios, and you go off on a mission to go rescue him. And maybe this lore, this glyph lore, is to do with, the glyphs. And maybe this is how you bring good old Treeface aboard the actual Nexus, which could be quite cool to have a nice little backstory, and we go rescue him, bring him here. I know we didn't rescue Artemis, but yeah. And look at these. I don't remember it saying uranium to fix the dang thing. And that's why I put that little image up earlier of Sean with uranium. Not poisonous. It's uranium on all of these. And it says loads of bits about damage. And I really don't know whether that was in-game a little while ago. I don't know whether that's some sort of new screen for the glyphs. Anyway, hit me up in the comments. So maybe the dinosaur, the Diplo sort of universe, maybe that is where we learn about cooking and also how to, tame creatures, pet creatures, and get recipes by feeding creatures or killing creatures to get different recipes and cooking, and how that ties into the living ship and feeding the living ship and all that sort of stuff. So it brings cooking more into the fold. And talking of living ships, now that we've got the Leviathan and the actual, the Dream Aerial, perhaps the actual whale system is just full of frickin' living frigates and giant space fauna. That screen's really got me wondering, people, if that was there prior to the patch. Please let me know if it was or wasn't. I just wasn't very observant. But yeah, isn't it weird? Anyhow, here we go. Hello there, Tethys. Welcome, my friend. So yeah, fish face. Fish universe, and a whole backstory, maybe bringing him to the Nexus, a whole backstory for him, but that whole thing with the light years, 250 light years damage, what is that all about? Why? And why is it there 4 bloody times? I don't get it. Anyhow, people, it says refining, crafting, charging. So charging. Why are we going to use that? I don't know. Anyhow, this is what Sean Murray said ages ago, pre-launch, about what portals do. So take a read of that. Apparently, you would have used your multi-tool and certain modules to unlock certain areas inside of the portal. Run in, grab what you can, and then dash back out again. Bit like our first encounter inside of portals, really. That was kind of how it was. When you went through the portal, you get the countdown, the sentinels coming at you and all sorts. You feel that you shouldn't be there. Grab whatever you can, take a few pictures, get the fudge out before you get pulled back anyway. Now, this was a pre-launch video of how a portal would look and feel. I love this planet, by the way. I love all the sort of crystals, and I love the structures and the terrain. Please, Hello Games, put some planets like this inside a game now. That'd be nice. But here we go. This portal, it transfers you instantly. And look, there's all water droplets running down the visor, which is pretty cool in itself. But it takes you to a whole new world. Lickety-split. Like instantaneous travel. So there we go, people. That's all my sort of speculation. Now, if you do want to see my 16 galaxies idea, I put it as an end card to this video, but I'll also put it in the top right-hand corner now. Maybe go hit it up. Give it a watch. It's quite a long one. It's about 27 minutes or something mental. Anyway, people in the viewerverse, I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings on all of this. Please put them inside of the comments. And as always, you guys in the viewerverse have been freaking awesome. Until next time, goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye again. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, please hit a like and a subscribe. And I'd like to say a massive, great big thank you to all of my backers over on Patreon and over on YouTube membership. Thanking you, backers. And if you want to support this channel, just don't skip the adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue. Or yeah, just stay with Captain Steve that little bit longer and hit something on this screen. There's merch here now too.